Lacrosse Legends. Lacrosse Legends, a comprehensive look at America's greatest game, featuring legends past, present, and future. Today on Lacrosse Legends, CityLax comes to Greenwich.
CityLax, a nonprofit organization dedicated to changing the lives of the students they serve through the game of lacrosse.
This evening, CityLax comes to Greenwich.
Lacrosse Legends stopped by the Roundhill Club to check out the event and chat with some of the guests.
Tonight, CityLax is bringing its mission and its message to Greenwich, Connecticut to help spread the word, try to meet new donors to help raise money for what we're doing here in New York City by creating lacrosse programs in underserved New York City public schools. Greenwich and Fairfield County, obviously strong lacrosse programs and strong lacrosse community. So it's a great combination of CityLax and Greenwich. Pat Coleman has done an amazing job to get the word out about CityLax across the Greenwich community.
What is the secret to your success over the years?
Just the passion. I think we have a tremendous board led by Matt Levine and John Moser, people who have been impacted by lacrosse, and it means so much to us to give back to the game and see the game grow in New York City. Many of us still live in New York City, so it's important for us, and we reach out, and again, of course, I think so many lacrosse people, not just the board members, want to see the game grow, and we've tapped into that. The reason is the passion for lacrosse and the passion for New York City.
And how can we find out more about CityLax?
CityLax.org. It has all the information. Of course, CityLax on Instagram and on other forms of social media and YouTube. It's a tremendous program, and it's great to see what we're doing with these public school teams and see the passion and enthusiasm that these young men and women have for the sport of lacrosse and the opportunity that CityLax has provided for them to play the sport.
And congratulations again on the retirement of your jersey. It was a great event.
Oh, thank you.
What brings you by today?
You know, I saw an email for CityLax and that they were having an event to promote the program and help it grow. And one of our Syracuse alums sent me the flyer on it, and I just randomly emailed him back and said, hey, I'd love to come. It would be a great event. And you know, we have lots of friends in this area, so I said, I'll come on up.
You brought up Syracuse, I have to bring it up. You're if I'm not mistaken, you're the fourth head coach of the Syracuse lacrosse program. In the history of the lacrosse program?
Yes.
Yeah. There's got to come with some pressure. How do you deal with that? You've got to be the coolest cat I've ever seen in my life. How do you deal with the pressure?
You know, the pressure's put on yourself. You know, I've always looked at pressure that way. I've never really worried what you know, other people, because I have more pressure put on by the expectations that I have personally than what people can put on me from the outside. So we are working our butts off to bring Syracuse back, and I know that we're well on our way, and we're going to continue recruiting the way we do and bringing great talent, and now it's time to get it done on the field. So you're gonna see the tremendous difference in the program from last year to this year, and I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to get after it one more time. Syracuse lacrosse is a tradition, the overall experience. You know, we're a tremendous university that provides an excellent education, you know, balanced with lacrosse and sports, and you know, we're one of the few New York schools that has big time football and basketball. So you get kind of a big time feel for a university, and yet we're a private school that's, you know, certainly smaller than the big state schools. So we're a unique fit for a lot of people, but overall I think it's a tremendous experience. I know I loved it and enjoyed it, and proud to be an alum. So, you know, go Qs.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, again, thank you very much for your time. We look forward to great things in 2023. Best of luck to you, and thank you.
Thank you.
And off the record, kid from Long Island, if you didn't know anything about lacrosse, thank you for making me a fan.
Oh, nice. Well, appreciate your work here.
Next on Lacrosse Legends. You're watching Lacrosse Legends.
Back at the Roundhill Club, Lacrosse Legends caught up with some more of the evening's guests.
I
of our alums, Brian Riley's on the board at CityLax. Thought it'd be a nice opportunity to meet some people and, find out a little bit more about the CityLax program.
You're truly a great ambassador to the game. All you've done with Yale. I know you've got an acquisition of a couple of new coaches this year. We're looking forward to see some great things.
Well, thank you. Well, for us, it makes it easy to get one of the best degrees on the planet, if not the best degree on the planet. We play a certain style that's up-tempo and smart, and high-achieving lacrosse players want to have fun and play the game the way it's meant to be played. So it's kind of a couple of those two together and, kind of go from there.
You ended last year with a 12-5 record?
Maybe, yeah.
What can we expect to see in 2023 from that?
I don't predict records. Hopefully it's one of our best years. We'll see, though. We got a long way to go.
I'm very lucky to go far back with Matt Levine and the whole group, John Moser. Known them for, probably 10 to 12 years and supported everything they've done. Had players come to and through this program, had players go back and coach in this program. Just absolutely believe in everything they're doing. Another connection tonight to Patrick Coleman. I mean, it just seems like everything we hope for in the game of lacrosse, and that's good people moving the game forward, and what a privilege to be here. We're so lucky at Brown to have world-class academics. The Ivy League last year, honestly, any metric you wanted to use was the best Division I lacrosse conference in the country. So to compete there, and for us to win the Ivy League and host the Ivy League tournament last year, our guys are so lucky to compete lacrosse-wise at the highest level, but more importantly, compete academically at the highest level. And it's a pretty special, transformative place, and privileged to do what I do, where I get to do it, for sure.
My third year involved in the league. We started lacrosse from inception, so it's been a 3-year growing process. We were able to get our first championship here this past summer, so it was a lot of fun.
We look back and be happy about the 2022. What can we look forward to 2023?
Well, hopefully we can kind of rinse and repeat. I mean, that certainly is the goal. We have a great locker room right now with our Water Dogs and frankly our GCDS Tigers. So I love both locker rooms, and my wife and I work kind of all lacrosse all the time. But we've surrounded ourselves with really good people and people who are passionate about the sport, or just kind of like big-hearted people that are great teammates, and they also have the same passion for the sport that we do. So we kind of share that. Yeah, good goals moving forward are just to try to reset ourselves, kind of have an appropriately active off season in terms of free agency and kind of current signees and collegiate draft and so on and so forth. But we want to put ourselves in a position to go ahead and win another championship next summer.
I am here to recognize CityLax and Maddie Levine, who is an alum from Williams College, and just to really support the cause of trying to get as many people involved with lacrosse as possible, and especially people that are typically not involved with lacrosse. Anybody who's in Williams College should be a student first and foremost, and it's incredibly important that you are taking rigorous classes, that you're putting your time and effort into the classroom, as well as being a very skilled lacrosse player. And we strongly encourage young men to come and visit Williams College. It's a small town atmosphere, but it's a great academic as well as athletic school.
Bob Coughlin is the uncle of one of our former players, two-time captain Sean Coughlin at High Point University, and asked us to be a part of this tonight, and was honored. And just flattered to be a part of something that's so special and helping so many people in the community in New York City. It's a phenomenal school, beautiful area, up-and-coming lacrosse program, and we've got some tremendous people on board, both at our university and within our program. So a lot of great results over the first 12 years of our program's existence, and the way it looks, we're just going to keep getting better and better.
Next on Lacrosse Legends. You're watching Lacrosse Legends.
Players looking to transfer this season are under new guidelines that limit when they're able to enter their names into the transfer portal. In the past, players were able to enter their names whenever they'd like, during the season, after the season. A shock to a lot of coaches around the country trying to build their teams, trying to build their rosters. They haven't been able to maintain roster management because players were able to come and go as they pleased. Now, the new transfer windows will start the day after the championship teams are selected. Players will be allowed to enter their name into the portal. That doesn't mean they have to transfer during those windows, but it at least gives both the players and the coaches a time frame for when they know transfers will happen both in and out from their program, and give them a little bit more stability, a little bit more consistency in the process. The transfer portal has become so popular. I had one coach tell me he thinks teams now need to operate as if they're in the NFL, rebuilding every single season, looking at it as free agency. So now the new rules we'll see implemented on December 5th, the start of a new era with the transfer portal, the start of new guidelines, hoping to bring some consistency and a little bit less chaos.
Well, the transfer portal, you know what? I've always been about the student athlete, so in a lot of ways the transfer portal benefits those student athletes. It allows them to find a home where they can get on the field, whereas in the past there was plenty of players that were talented but maybe they weren't the right fit for the coach or whatever it was, and they couldn't find a way into another program. Now I'm sure there's a happy medium from, and they're already making adjustments to the transfer portal world by putting in dates when you can enter and put your name in. And so there is opportunity for compromise, and I think we're seeing that now. And I think overall, though, it's great for the athlete, and then that's the most important thing.
I think it's a good thing. I think it was well intended, let's say, but I think it's some of the things that happen in football where guys can just leave and go somewhere else. Maybe a little bit out of control, but, in our sport, I think it's probably still, benefiting the student athletes in the proper way.
Yeah, the transfer portal is part of our reality now. Thankfully for us at Brown, through COVID, through everything, we're pretty proud, frankly, that we've never had a player leave our program or transfer out, which then makes transferring in pretty difficult. Our guys love Brown, love everything about it, wouldn't really want to play any other program than Brown's. Those opportunities are admittedly less robust at Brown. I think within the whole Ivy League, we have been able to make a couple transfers work the last couple of years coming in. So it's something that, as I said, is a reality of where we are and a reality of what we're doing.
Yeah, it's a great question. So kind of in my previous life, I did 16 years in the college lacrosse world, and now I've actually pivoted. So I work at a private school here in Greenwich, and I also coach professionally. Opinion on the transfer portal is kind of a double-edged sword, both good and bad. I think the COVID year, given student athletes an additional year of eligibility if they chose to use it, I think was the right decision for the NCAA. So I think that's been a good thing. But you also, you don't want student athletes to transfer and kind of have it be like a short-sighted decision. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I have a little bit of an old school personality. When you commit to a school, you kind of work through any ebbs and flows that just kind of go along with the collegiate experience, and you try to work through those and stay loyal to the school that you chose originally. But at the end of the day, if you just made a mistake or made a decision prematurely and all of a sudden you feel like a change is warranted, then in some of those one-off situations, I think the transfer portal can be very useful. But yeah, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. I think either extreme could be a little dangerous.
It's one of those things that doesn't affect us. We're not big into transfers. Since I've been at Williams, and I've been there 23 years, we've not had any transfers. It's one of those things where I'm not against it. I think for young men that looking at their options should have the opportunity to look at all their options. And so I definitely support it. It is not a big factor for Williams, but it's definitely something that's, again, I think more options for young men and women are definitely the way to go.
The transfer portal for us has been good, especially early on. We got a lot of really good players out of there. I think with the success that Maryland and Rutgers had last year in the transfer portal, Georgetown, a lot more schools are in there. So in the past year, it hasn't been, as kind to us. For programs, you got a decision to make. You can either go the route of the transfer portal and bring in 4, 5, 6 guys out of there every year, or you can kind of bet on your system development. Take a guy from freshman year through senior year and maybe bring in 1 or 2 guys out of there. Taking the tact over the last couple of years to maybe take 1 or 2 guys out, but really focus on the development of our freshmen and sophomores and trying to get them to the point where some of our other guys have come over the year. One of the big reasons why I'm here tonight is a student athlete who came in, lower on the depth chart as a freshman, worked incredibly hard, bought into the system, bought into our system development, and developed into an incredible player over his 4 years there and helped us win a conference championship. So when you're able to do that and see that kind of growth within certain guys, it becomes an addiction and it becomes something that you get excited about. And we've kind of put our eggs in that basket.
Sit there and watch, and all you coaches know, you can look at a line drill or a shooting drill and see an athlete. And I would look at some guy or another player, and the coach would go, oh yeah, middle linebacker on the football team. Just started playing this year. Oh yeah, shooting guard on the basketball team. Second year playing the sport. So we have just scratched the surface in New York City, and we need support. So trust me, we can all dream the dream that if Oregon, Texas, and Florida could produce the best player in the country, why can't New York City? Yes, we need your financial support, but we also need help creating awareness and spreading the word of what CityLax is doing, and maybe this will help.
My name is Eamon McEnany, and I'm a CityLax supporter. I'm also on its board of directors and have seen how lives are changed through lacrosse. For 15 years, CityLax has been helping underserved inner-city students, both on and off the field, to use lacrosse to get into college. Annually, CityLax supports over 70 varsity, JV, and middle school teams, over 3,000 students with 65 free clinics and camps, and off-the-field programs that support these kids. In 2019, CityLax had a 100% graduation rate, with 97% going to college. To date, CityLax has impacted over 25,000 New York City students across the 5 boroughs. Let me introduce you to one person whose life was changed through CityLax.
Well, CityLax for me has been invaluable. Like, it's something that for me has helped me really develop my skill and introduce lacrosse to me. I never knew what the sport was. I saw it on a TV show and I was able to learn and actually meet people who are willing to teach me and help me get myself on track when it came to school, education, learning about a new sport, putting myself out there. These are the places that they come and get better. They might not have the finances in order to get a private coach, so providing this extra opportunity for students to come, play, practice with each other, talk to a coach, ask questions to their peers and people who have been in their shoes before is really foundational for their growth as a player and as a human in general for their own personal endeavors that they want to do in their lives. So thank you for everything.
Hi, this is Paul Carpentera, and I'm a CityLax supporter. I've been involved with CityLax for the last 8 years, and I will tell you, without question, it changes lives.
My name is Max Sebo, and I support CityLax.
My name is Kylie Omerler, professional women's lacrosse player, and I support CityLax.
My name is Chris Saylor, and I support CityLax.
My name is Connor Music, and I support CityLax.
My name is Bobo Fairman, and I support CityLax.
My name is Nigel Andrews, and I support CityLax. My name is Matt Madelon, and I support CityLax.
My name is Pat Myers, and I'm a CityLax supporter.
My name is Jenny Graff, and I support CityLax.
I'm Greg Rinlane, and I support CityLax.
Hi, I'm Michael Earhart, and I'm a CityLax supporter. My name is Rob Pennell, and I support CityLax.
This is Andy Copelan, head coach of the PLL's Water Dogs Lacrosse Club, and I support CityLax.
Hi, I'm Bill Tierney, and I support CityLax.
My name is Andy Shay, and I support CityLax.
Hi, I'm Michelle Tumlo, AUSA women's lacrosse player, and I support CityLax.
My name is Jeff D'Ambroni, head coach of the Penn State men's lacrosse team, and on behalf of our program, we support CityLax.
I'm Katie McConnell with Lafayette Women's Lacrosse, and we support CityLax.
My name is Tom Schreiber, and I support CityLax.
Look, wrapping it up, let's enjoy the night, speak to the coaches, speak to friends, but more importantly, whatever you can do to help donate, that's why we're here. Across the room, you'll see little QR codes. You can take a picture of it. You can see Hadley Garish on the way out. You can go to the website, citylax.org. It's why we're here. We've all been fortunate. The sport has given us so much, and what little we can give back will pay massive dividends. But we thank you all for coming, and thank you all for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
CityLax, growing the game, one round ball at a time. This is Monsanto Muzak for Lacrosse Legends.